They will tell you men are simple, that men want beauty, soft skin, and a pretty face. That if you are beautiful enough, they will kneel. But they are wrong. Beauty opens the door, yes, but it never keeps the throne. Because beauty is common, and what is common is never worshipped. What men hunger for, what coils silently in their minds, even if they cannot name it, is not your appearance, but your power over their perception. They crave the illusion that you are rare, ungraspable, sovereign. They want not the face they see, but the mystery they cannot solve. Machiavelli wrote not of love, but of power, and power is what men are wired to respond to, even if they disguise it as affection. Power is not given by beauty. Power is created by scarcity, by withholding, by the aura that you are not theirs, not yet, maybe never. The woman who is easily impressed becomes decoration. The woman who is difficult to decode becomes obsession. Men do not long to own what everyone can touch. They long to conquer what no one can quite hold. But here is the paradox. Once they think they have you, they stop chasing. And when they stop chasing, they stop valuing. So the woman who wishes to be remembered must never be fully captured. She must remain a kingdom with gates that never open too easily. A book half read, a door half open, a glance that lingers just long enough to make them wonder what storm hides behind it. This is what men want, though they will never say it. They want tension, they want uncertainty, they want to feel the danger of losing you. Men are not addicted to comfort. Comfort bores them. What they are addicted to is the struggle for worth. To win your attention, to feel they climbed a mountain to be near you, to believe they paid a price others could not afford. This is why beauty alone never satisfies them. Because beauty requires no effort. But your distance, your silence, your calm refusal to be impressed, these things demand effort. And effort breeds attachment. Men value only what they suffer to obtain. Machiavelli warned that power is held not by generosity but by control. If you give too freely, you become invisible. If you appear too eager, you become forgettable. So you must resist the temptation to offer yourself like a gift. You must be a prize wrapped in doubt, a reward that requires endurance, patience, and cleverness. They must never be sure of your affection. They must never believe they have conquered you, because certainty kills curiosity, and curiosity is the root of pursuit. But men will not admit this hunger. They will speak of loyalty, of warmth, of kindness, and they mean it. But their instincts betray them. The moment they feel certain, they relax. And relaxed men do not chase. So you must master the art of contrast. Be warm, then distant. Kind, then silent. Present, then gone. Let your attention be a rare coin, never dropped carelessly into open hands. When they're unsure if they can hold you, they will guard you like treasure. When they believe you are already theirs, they will look away. Scarcity is not cruelty. It is the language of value. Everything rare becomes sacred. Everything abundant becomes ignored. This is not about deception. It is about discipline. The discipline to protect your essence from being consumed too easily. Machiavelli would tell you, men respect what they fear to lose more than what they love to have. So become the woman who can walk away without flinching. The moment they sense that your world does not collapse without them, they begin orbiting you like planets around a sun. Not because you chased, but because you did not. This is the paradox of power. You do not gain it by grasping. You gain it by standing still while others move around you. They will call it arrogance. They will call it coldness. Let them, because men are not drawn to warmth that is always available. They are drawn to warmth that must be earned. Understand this. Men do not chase reality. They chase fantasy. The fantasy of who you might be. The fantasy of what life beside you could feel like. The fantasy that if they win you, they will finally feel whole. So never reveal yourself all at once. Never offer the full map to your soul. Give glimpses, not confessions. Hints, not explanations. Moments, not hours. Let them write stories about you in their minds. Let them fill in your silences with their dreams. Because the stories they invent will bind them to you more tightly than the truth ever could. When you become an unfinished riddle, they will chase not you, but the idea of you. And ideas are immortal. To hold this power, you must become what most are not, emotionally disciplined. Men are accustomed to women who overgive, over-explain, over-chase. This makes them feel superior. It makes them careless. But when you do not react, when you smile at their withdrawal, when you meet their silence with deeper silence, they grow uneasy. Because now the power shifts. They are no longer certain they matter to you. And uncertainty is the seed of obsession. Your calm becomes their chaos. Your restraint becomes their addiction. So do not beg, do not bargain, do not plead for reassurance. You are not applying for their affection. You are granting them rare access, and they must prove they are worthy. Here lies the secret. What men want more than your beauty is how they feel about themselves in your presence. If they feel weak, they drift. If they feel powerful, they bind themselves to you. So become their mirror, reflect their potential, not their flaws. Let them glimpse the version of themselves they could become if they were worthy of you. They will not call this power. They will call it love. But it is power, quiet, invisible, irresistible. They will mistake your composure for softness, your detachment for mystery, your silence for depth. And they will cling, because to walk away would feel like walking away from who they want to become. But presence wins attention, absence builds value. This is the paradox men never speak aloud. They feel most drawn to what is missing, not what is present every day. Men are hunters by instinct. They respond to gaps, to mystery, to what they fear might slip through their fingers. They cannot worship what is always there, because what is always there fades into the background. Absence is not silence. Absence is the echo you leave behind. It is the memory that lingers in their mind while the world keeps shouting around them. While other women chase and plead, you become the one who walks away quietly, without drama, without anger, without explanation. And in that silence, you grow larger. The human mind fills voids with obsession. They will imagine what you are doing, who you are with, why you disappeared. They will rewrite entire stories to explain your silence. And the more they imagine, the more they attach. This is the Machiavellian truth. Absence multiplies desire. It makes them crave your presence like forbidden fruit, because the mind worships what it cannot have on demand. Men will never admit this, but they respect what they fear they could lose. So create tiny absences like cracks of light through a closed door. Delay your reply. Decline invitations politely. Step back just when they lean forward. Each pause becomes a question mark. And questions are magnetic. When you withdraw, you trigger their ancient instinct to chase. They must resolve the mystery. They must conquer the unknown. They must prove they matter to you. While you are gone, they replay every word you ever said, looking for meaning. They will not realize they are feeding the fire, but they are. Machiavelli taught that rulers must be seen rarely but with grandeur, because familiarity lowers awe. So let your presence hit like thunder. Brief, loud, unforgettable. Then disappear again. This creates psychological hierarchy. They begin to see you as above them. Not as an equal they can possess, but as a sovereign they must win over again and again. While others text endlessly, you speak like prophecy. Few words, heavy meaning. This is not cruelty, it is strategy. Your scarcity makes their effort grow. And the more effort they invest, the more they justify their attachment to you. Because humans guard what they work hard for. They discard what arrives easily. Absence plants fear, and fear, when balanced with admiration, creates devotion. They begin to think, what if she forgets me? What if someone else wins her? That fear sharpens their affection. They protect what they could lose. They guard what they cannot predict. When you are always available, they relax. And relaxed men do not chase. But when you can disappear at any moment, they stay alert. They watch you like a priceless jewel. They speak carefully. They guard your attention like gold. Fear breeds reverence. Reverence breeds loyalty. This is why absence is more powerful than beauty. Beauty attracts glances. Absence commands minds. Absence must be deliberate, not careless, not cruel, strategic. You must disappear like the moon behind clouds, not like smoke that vanishes and is forgotten. This requires discipline, because emotion will tempt you to break the silence, to prove you still care, to check if they still do. Resist. Machiavelli warned, the one who appears needy loses authority. Need is the enemy of power. Chasing reveals need, and the moment they sense you need them, you fall from the throne. So let them wonder, let them ache, let them question their own worth in your absence. That discomfort will tie them to you far stronger than constant reassurance ever could. And when you finally return, return like thunder. Not slowly, not softly, not apologetically. Arrive as if they were lucky to be chosen again. Your presence must feel like a reward for their patience, their longing, their effort. This is how absence and presence work together. Absence builds hunger, presence delivers ecstasy. Then you disappear again, leaving them spinning between hope and fear. This rhythm creates addiction, because their brain begins to release dopamine at the anticipation of your presence. Not even the presence itself, just the chance of it. That is when you have them. Not through beauty, through control of the tempo. Men understand value not in words, but in cost. They are wired to measure worth by what they must sacrifice to obtain it. Time, energy, pride, risk. The greater the cost, the greater the attachment. This is not romance. This is economics. When something comes cheap, the mind assumes it is common. When something requires effort, the mind decides it must be rare. And what is rare becomes sacred. Consider this. Men who invest months chasing someone often stay even when they are unhappy. Not because they are fulfilled, but because they are invested. They suffer, so they must believe it was worth it. They pay the price, so they must convince themselves the prize is priceless. This is called sunk cost attachment. The deeper the cost, the tighter the bond. Machiavelli would call it managing perception through scarcity. You are not manipulating, you are simply allowing them to earn what others expect for free. Men love what makes them expend themselves, because through that struggle, they feel worthy. And worth is the true drug. Most women are taught to be endlessly available, to make it easy, to prove they care. But what is easy is not treasured. What is free is not guarded. What is abundant is not pursued. You must reverse this. Do not give constant validation. Make praise rare. Make access conditional. Make your time expensive. They must learn that your attention is not air, it is gold. And gold must be mined. This is not arrogance. This is economics. Men must sweat for your notice, strain for your approval, work for your presence. Because humans do not cherish what they are handed. They cherish what they suffered to earn. Do not starve them. Starvation breaks the spirit. Do not drown them. Abundance dulls desire. Instead, feed them like firewood, one spark at a time. A glance, a brief laugh, a fleeting kindness, then pull away again. Each drop becomes sacred. Each word becomes heavy. Each touch becomes proof that their struggle is paying off. This creates psychological investment. The more they give, the more they must keep giving. Because walking away would mean admitting they wasted their effort. So they double down, they chase harder, they cling tighter. This is how you turn interest into obsession. Not through beauty, through controlled scarcity. Men must explain to themselves why they want you. So give them just enough to believe there is treasure buried in your silence. Let them imagine that behind your restraint is depth they must unlock. This triggers cognitive dissonance. They feel the tension of wanting what they don't fully understand. To resolve that tension, they pour in more time, more praise, more pursuit. And the more they give, the more they believe you are worth giving to. Desire is not born from ease. Desire is born from uncertainty, cost, and distance. Machiavelli taught that to command loyalty, a ruler must never be seen as equal to the masses. So never behave like you are interchangeable. Never blend in, never chase, never over-explain. Let your presence signal hierarchy. Move slowly, speak rarely, smile like your time is expensive. When others give themselves away like coins, be the crown they must kneel to earn. This is how you shift their mind from, "She is beautiful," to, "She is priceless." And once they decide you are priceless, they will treat you as sacred, because to lose you would feel like ruin. Men are not drawn to peace. They are drawn to contrast. To hot and cold, soft and sharp, presence and absence. Because contrast creates emotional spikes. And emotional spikes create addiction. Be warm, then silent. Kind, then distant. Present, then gone. This is the push-pull pattern that makes them spiral. While they are guessing, they are investing. While they are unsure, they are chasing. When they feel secure, they relax. And relaxed men drift. So never let them feel they have fully solved you. Because the solved puzzle is tossed aside. But the unsolved one haunts their mind at midnight. Tension is the hook. It makes them wait, wonder, ache. Do not fear their frustration. Frustration is proof they are engaged. When they ask for clarity, give poetry. When they ask what you feel, smile and say, "Sometimes I wonder too." Ambiguity forces their imagination to work. And the more they imagine, the more they attach. Because what the mind builds, the heart defends. Men do not become obsessed with people. They become obsessed with what they symbolize. So become a mirror. Reflect their ambitions, their hunger, their shadow, their desire to be more than they are. When they look at you, they must see the version of themselves they wish they could become. This creates a deeper tether than affection. It creates reverence. They will not even realize they are chasing not you, but who they want to be, and they believe you are the path. That is how you transform from a woman into a myth. Power without warmth becomes ice, and ice does not attract. It only repels. So you must walk the blade's edge, distant enough to be rare, human enough to be desired. They must never feel they own you, but they must sense there is something worth earning. Show your values, not your vulnerability. Show your strength, not your scars. Show emotion in drops, not floods. This tells their mind, she feels deeply, but not for just anyone. That mystery will keep them orbiting you like a moon around an unseen planet. Occasionally, let the mask slip. A soft sentence, a glance that lingers, a silence that trembles like it almost wanted to speak. Then pull back. This creates what the brain sees as emotional scarcity, and scarcity magnifies meaning. A single rare moment will echo in their mind far louder than constant affection ever could. You are not cold, you are selective, and selection is the essence of value. Looks fade, trends die, desire burns and cools, but mystery, sovereignty, and restraint, those endure. When men speak of you years later in quiet rooms, they will not describe your face. They will say, "There was something about her. I never figured it out." And that is the point. To be unforgettable is to be unsolved. Never give more than they earn. Never chase when they withdraw. Never explain your silence. Never reward disrespect with attention. If they think they've claimed you, evolve. If they think they've solved you, disappear. Be a moving target, because satisfaction is death, and what is conquered is discarded. When they look at you, they must see their reflection sharpened, stronger, braver, more composed. They must feel that to win you is to win themselves. This is the deepest hook of all, because men will abandon beauty, but they will never abandon their own ambition. If you become the path to that ambition, they will never stop chasing. So what do men want more than looks? They want what cannot be held, cannot be explained, cannot be predicted. They want the woman who stands still while the world spins around her. The one who could leave at any moment but chooses not to. They want the storm behind the curtain, the crown above their reach, the silence that makes them question themselves. They want not comfort, but conquest, not warmth, but worth. And when they finally realize you never needed them, that is the moment they will need you the most. You are not beautiful, you are rare, and rarity is what men worship, not because it pleases them, but because it terrifies them to lose it.